Well, spent all that money on RTK antenna upgrade, and Andy's having to steer it manually. I think we got a problem on the steering motor there. And anyway, the part we're looking at that we're going to replace way back in there. So for $75 more than what we can get one coil and one valve for, we can just get the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's been a rewarding day. Got one project started and finished. Got another project that's been in here for Lord knows how long. Got it finished. It's been a heck of a spring. We've worked our tails off, but it looks like it's starting to pay off.
You know how much fun it is to spray and avoid these two? It's like organized, uncontrolled chaos. Because the temperatures are so warm, the minute I spray this stuff, it starts to die. So he's got to be on my rear, and then Matt is on his rear. So a lot of maneuvering and trying to stay out of people's way, but it's always a fun time.
All right, we've got our new electronic valve auto steer pump, hydraulic pump. We've got it in there. It is all wired up and hosed up and crimped up and all nice and doing its job like it's supposed to. So we're back out here rolling the grass, and Matt is right behind me. He is actually pulling in the field right now. Kelly is right in front of me. Kelly is up there. Matt is back over there. Is my camera blurry? I've been saying all this with a blurry camera. Okay, so yeah, Kelly is up there and Matt is right over the hill over there, and we are just rolling away, hoping we can keep on pushing through this cotton planting. It's going. It's still earlier than last year. I'm so glad to have auto steer back. I had it. It didn't go out, but man, it sure was squally. Last week when we saw the valves, it was off about 22 inches every time, and now it's only about 1 to 9 inches, and it corrects itself just like that. It was not correcting itself, so it'd be a row off, and with the roller crimper, that's just not what we want, because it'll be a row off the whole time, row or two off, and that'll be two opening wheels on the planter that'll be clogged up. So we just don't need to have that happen. We need to keep on having a good cotton plant, and that's how we're starting. So let's see if we can't end it like that too.
Anyway, I'm not going to complain about that one-day break. It was actually pretty nice. Got the auto steer fixed on that tractor, I believe. I'll check in with Andy here in a minute. Got a fertilizer buggy done, and gave my neck and my back a little chance to heal up, from just constantly, turning back, making sure my planter units are staying right within my burn down strip, especially on these end rows. Straight rows, when it's on auto steer, I ain't got to worry about that, but trying to manually drive the end rows and stay within that strip. Oh, neck got a crick in it the other day. How about you, Andy?
Yeah.
How's that auto steer working out for you today?
It is working like it should, like a brand new tractor. It has been putting me off like 8 or 9 inches, but it goes right back to a 1/4 inch off, and it's staying right on the money.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear we actually solved the problem for once. Well, that's good to hear. That's real good to hear. I didn't throw $3,200 down the drain. Oh, I'm so glad. I don't know what it is, but the older I get, the more satisfaction I get out of solving nagging problems, and the auto steer on that tractor for the last year or so it's kind of been a little glitchy and kind of been aggravating, and I think a lot of it had to do with the valve starting to go bad. It worked most of the time, and then other times it just do inexplicable stuff. You know, last fall thought it was a steering angle sensor, and we replaced it, and that helped a lot, but it still didn't completely solve all the issues. So that's one less problem to worry about or think about and wonder what's wrong. We got it fixed, sounds like.
And as you can see from last fall, they have built this whole side of the street all the way down to that stop sign. More cookie cutter homes going in, just fabulous. I want to get out and show you guys something. Alright, you see that where it's really green all the way down? Last year in corn, that's where Matt had the problem with the elevator and the plastic. And when we were moving the combine down to check it, it was dragging corn all the way down the field. That is hilarious. Yep, right there. Look how green it is.
Kelly's climbing the hills. I'm folding the hills, and Matt is putting some seed in the hills. So we are all three out here, and it is a group effort today.
Another farm knocked off the list. Tell you what, for somebody who's OCD like I am, all that striping and everything, pretty satisfying. Ain't quite as pretty as a baseball stadium, but not bad for farm ground. Well, it's turned into a pretty dang nice day. Sun come out, we got some really warm temperatures. I ought to really get this cotton off to a quick start here. So, but now we get to venture over to the Baker farm, our farthest farm, through Jackson. Saturday afternoon traffic. Yippee. Let's go see what Ashport Road's got in store for us.
Gone out. It is getting very uncomfortable in here. I still have 13 acres to do, and I think 6 acres, and trek all the way back towards the shop. And I have let Mr. Griggs know that I'm about to violate every HR rule and law, and he's gonna have pretty much a 90% naked employee here in about 2 hours if we don't get this fixed. I wore the wrong outfit. I have jeans on, and this is hot. So, although at this rate, I don't even care. I don't even care if anybody sees me. Well, they might not because the windows are tinted, but woo, when you're sitting on just everything, it's so hot. So, well, I'm gonna push through because what to do. It's always something, and everything always breaks on a Saturday or a Sunday. So it's like someone blowing just, you know, hot air on you. It's cooler outside.
You know, I've been doing some thinking about what I'm going to do fertility wise on my cotton this year. Remember back during, I wasn't corn planting, I forget exactly what we're doing, but I was talking about earlier how on my corn I was going to reduce my nitrogen a little bit, just because you know, we've done such a good job with soil health and trying to determine, you know, how just how far we can cut you know, inputs and still maintain great yields. But we started cutting fertility inputs on cotton quite a few years ago because the nutrition requirements for cotton are not near as great as what they are corn. And you know, we've been making you know, if everything else cooperates, you know, we've been making great yields with only 40 pounds of nitrogen on my cotton crop. And I've actually mentioned that 40 pounds might be too much just because we can't get our cotton to shut down at the end of the year and get ready for harvest. It just wants to keep on putting on fruit and growing, even though we don't have any growing season left. It just wants to keep on doing it. I think I talked about how this year I'm probably going to cut that back even more, you know, say back down to 30 pounds an acre, maybe 25. I don't know. But seeing as how we're able to plant so early this year, we've got an extended growing season. I'm really considering maybe delaying that reduction, because I'm thinking this year, you know, we could still utilize. I mean, we got another 2.5 weeks of potential growing season this year. So, you know, rather than cutting back to 30 pounds of nitrogen, I'm really thinking I'm probably going to go with 40 pounds of nitrogen this year, like we've been doing in the past. You know, the last thing I want to do is get, you know, there mid-August, maybe 1st of September, and we can still be putting on and maturing bolls for another 2 to 3 weeks, and come to find out the nitrogen I applied has run short, and then the cotton starts getting ready prematurely. You know, starts shedding leaves and opening bolls when, you know, we could still be setting yield. If we were in normal planting situation like what we normally are, you know, planting that second, third week of May, I'd most definitely feel comfortable with doing, you know, dropping it down to 30 pounds an acre. I think this year, because we got more growing season, I'm going to go back with what we done just to make sure I don't hurt myself on yield. Now, I'll probably leave some test strips in the field, bump it back, you know, to that 25, 30 pounds, just so I can watch it through the year. And, you know, it won't be a lost year. You know, it won't be a lost year data wise, and we'll still be able to do a lot of learning without actually hurting my bottom line. And then whenever we do apply our nitrogen, you know, we'll apply it as a side dress. Probably apply it right before we get started cutting wheat. I'm also going to apply a pretty healthy slug of potassium, just to make sure that we got enough potassium there to set all those bolls and hold them on there. I gotta wait a minute for Andy to get in front of me. You know, we variable rated our potassium earlier this year across our cotton ground, but I subtracted, I think, 75 pounds from my prescriptions to save a flat rate of 75 pounds on my side dress application. I really gotten to where I like, you know, waiting until in season to apply potassium to cotton, because it needs so much of it, you know, just to make sure we don't risk getting any tied up in the soil or potentially lost to leaching or anything like that.
For all my sunflower seed cab drivers, I don't know if these are made in Texas. They're called Chinooks. I'm sure y'all have heard of them. These Parmesan and pepper, let me put you on. They're my absolute favorite. If y'all just sit in your tractor and eat some sunflower seeds, I'd put those on your menu at least one time.
The other joy of farming in the city is when you leave your gate down, you get people like this who literally truck up this really dangerous hill to dump all of their junk up here. I mean, that's just, although that's some good plywood. I don't know about that. I might have to go grab that. But we left the gate down, so, but that's what we deal with. And there was a fridge somewhere over there as well, so lovely, lovely, lovely. Carter and I have been moving equipment over here to Plantain, which is gonna be half corn and half cotton. Matt said, I wanna do the bottom across the creek because it's supposed to rain. Well, let me show you that there's an issue with us doing the bottom across the creek. That's a whole tree. Yeah. I honestly don't know how I'm getting across this. I don't know how Matt's getting across this. That's a whole freaking tree. That's no driftwood, baby. That is Tennessee log right there. I'm pretty sure there's still a chain on the tractor. So, I'm making a phone call. So Matt suggested that I spread the tires out and straddle it. I mean, she ain't going nowhere. I can't because that is the deep part of the creek. And if I did, this would catch it. And can't go on that side because that drops off right there. So I have called Sir Boss Man. And we're aborting mission, so, because we don't have a lock chain. I am gonna go get back in this sprayer, and I'm gonna go do a lap around the big bottom. So, I just find it funny. Never fails, never fails.
Uh-oh, look like we might have a problem here. Kelly told me there's a big log covering it. I really don't want to bring a tractor over here. Let's see if we can move it by hand. Hey Andy, I'm gonna try to move this log by hand. If my tractor's still down here in the creek, when you get back this end, come down here and give me a hand.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I don't think that one's yeah, I'm gonna need Andy's help for this one. Oh. Come on, roll. Ah. Whew. That's out of the way enough. Alright, I was able to get it out. I'm sure that video clip will get legions of women flocking to my channel now.
It must have been a nice shot. Was it pretty heavy and big and everything, or was it okay to move?
It's pretty big. It'd been rotting a while, so it wasn't like it was green and just fell down.
They can't let the females know that part, though.
I'll edit that part out. Alright, let's see if I can get backed up out of here. I can't even see behind me. Alright, well, we're getting down to the last couple passes for day. I wanted to get about 12 acres done on this farm. That's how much seed I got in my planter, and Kelly got everything sprayed right before dark, what we're going to be able to plant. So we're going to make these last couple passes and wrap it up. I don't really know what we'll be able to do tomorrow. Though it's saying about 80% chance of rain after about 1 o'clock. So reckon we're going to go to church in the morning and see what it's doing after we get back from church. We can get another few hours in. I'm sure we'll be back out here, and if we're back out here, you know I'm gonna bring you along.
Well, all right, we just got another day of cotton planting and rolling and spraying done. It is Saturday night around, it's 10:35, and we are finally headed to the front. We have covered some ground today, only working Well, I mean, we still put in our full day, so we got around 100 acres. This year's cotton is going in the ground. And it's going in the ground pretty quick, so.
Well, happy Sunday afternoon to y'all. Looks like the weather's going to hold off a few hours. Let us get a few more acres of cotton in the ground. Hopefully we get done over here at the Clanton farm. And got another 5-acre farm totaling about 50 acres. I'd sure like to get done today before the rain showed up. So anyway, this is going to be the last farm we're going to be planting our Phytogen 360 on, and then we'll be swapping over to Delta Pine 2115. So we're going to put just enough seed in the planter to get this farm done or get close to done, and then we're going to swap over to the Delta Pine 2115 for the next farm and all the rest of our cotton. I tell you what, I sure wish y'all could smell this. The smell of cottonseed is unlike any other. I'm talking about bringing back some memories from my childhood. I remember, you know, before I could drive tractors, I was on the seed trailer, and I was in charge of making sure I got chemicals out for the next fill up on our tanks, and then getting seed and filling up the planter, and you know, sitting under a shade tree, smelling that cottonseed. Bring back some really good memories. One of the reasons I just absolutely love cotton over all my other crops. But anyway, just in case you're wondering, each of these bags of seed has 230,000 seeds per bag in there and costs right at $600. Just to put that in perspective, for every 4 seeds that I plant, it costs about 1 penny, and 1 out of every 5 seeds is not viable. This has a germination rate of about 80%. Pretty standard for cottonseed. No seed that we buy is going to have 100% germination rate. I think corn is usually around 95% germination rate. Soybeans is usually around 80 to 85% germination rate, and cotton's right around 80% germination rate. In some years of really short seed supply, I've seen soybeans have lower germination rate, about 75%, when the companies had to sell us seed, but just because there wasn't much stock that really wouldn't pass standards in a normal year. So anyway, just to give you a little perspective on the cost of planting cotton, and we're planting this at a rate of 37,000 seeds per acre, which comes out to a little less than $100 per acre just in seed costs. So anyway, enough science talk today. Let's get this sucker filled up, get some acres in the ground before the rain show up. All right, let's just pick right back up where we left off last night. You can see the line right here where Kelly sprayed 1 lap around the field. Well, you can tell a big difference on how quickly that gramoxone works. This is the line right here where the edge of Kelly's boom was. She sprayed that last night, and then this just this afternoon, and this stuff right here is already half dead, and it's been like 12 hours. Thing is, that paraquat works off sunlight, because it's it destroys the photosynthetic cells of the plant, and as soon as the sun comes up, starts shining on it, is when it's activated and really starts affecting the plant, and it works quickly. Tell you what, this field is it's laying down pretty dang nicely, considering the chevron blades on that crimper wore out. I mean, it's not like it's laying down when the thing was brand new, but it's definitely a lot thicker out here. This was in soybeans last year rather than corn, and we got a little bit better stand of cover crop out here, and the extra nitrogen from the soybean residue helped the cover crop tiller out more and be a little bit thicker. And the thicker a cover crop is when it comes to roller crimper, the better it does. I don't care how mature it is, if you got a thin stand of cover crop, the crimper just does not lay it down very good at all. But it's doing a pretty dang good job out here. I'm pretty tickled the way this looks. We ought to get some really excellent weed control down here in this bottom, and truth be told, if I need it anywhere, it's down here in this bottom. We're still fighting a few patches of pigweeds out here, and that cover crop blocking all the sunlight from hitting the soil really ought to help thin the pigweeds out, to where hopefully we don't have to spend a whole heck of a lot of time this summer.
Rain gets here? Should I go across the creek or not?
Kelly says need to check radar here. Oh, that's kind of a nasty line marching up. It's up this way. Probably better hold off until we get a lot closer to getting this field done, Kelly. Let's see what Noah's got to say about the situation.
Showers. Thunderstorms likely, mainly this evening. Lows in the mid-60s. Southeast wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain near 100%. Monday, most.
Yep, rain. We gonna get rained out at some point. Yeah, looking back off there in the distance, clouds ain't looking too promising there. Man, I hope we get. I'd sure love to get this farm done to where we can move things on back to the shop and have a chance to tinker with them on, and have a chance to tinker on them the next few days. Let's go ahead and kick that target speed up a little bit there. Well, we got done with this farm just in the nick of time. Rain started falling and it's just not looking too promising. Oh well, it's worth coming out here on this Sunday afternoon though. In a hair over 3 hours, we got 48 acres planted, so another 48 acres of cotton in the ground early. Now let's just pray that with this rain coming in, it comes on up, and we're not talking about replanting here in about a week and a half or so. Because I can guarantee you the tone of that video probably not going to be as good as this one. We're going to make our way up here towards the front where everybody's parked. We got corn planted about 8 days ago right over there, and then neighbor's got soybeans planted about 2 weeks right there, and his beans is up to a really good looking stand. Anyway, I don't know what the next clip's going to be, but y'all know I'm going to bring you along for something.